Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Nandatana. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thanks for accepting our request and coming back for to show the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So everyone knows about Prabhuji, but very, very briefly, I would like to introduce once again. Prabhuji academically is very highly qualified. He is BE Electronics and Instrumentation. He has done his MS in Software Systems in BITS Pilani. And Prabhuji is also has done LLB from Mumbai University and also PG Diploma in the GST from Maharashtra National Law University. Prabhuji is doing wonderful services. He's a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj and practicing Krishna consciousness since 1989. Prabhu hails from Srirangam, Tamil Nadu, and currently serving congregation in Navi Mumbai. Prabhuji is also a trustee in Bhaktivedanta College, Radhadesh, Belgium, and he is very actively involved in congregation development activities of ISKCON Navi Mumbai. So there's a lot to talk about Prabhuji's preaching glories, but I'd like to hear more about Prabhuji today. So over to you, Prabhu. So you are already I made you co-host, and also we went on live on our YouTube channel. Just for information. Over to you.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm humbled to be back here, and it's also a privilege to discuss Krishna Katha in the assembly of Vaishnavas. So I'm very happy that you're all regularly doing this service, and this is very rare and very important also. We'll start with our invocation prayer. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So reading from Caitanya Caritamrta, Madhya Leela, chapter 10, text number 18, and we will read all the way till 22. Punarapi Hantandra Haila Agamana Eka Bharadeki Kari Safala Nayana. When Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu returns, I wish to see him just once in order to make my eyes perfect. Bhattacharya kahe teno asibe alpakale rahite tandre ekasthana chahiya virale. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya replied, His Holiness Lord Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu will return very soon. I wish to have a nice place for him, a place solitary and peaceful. Thakurera nikatara haide niranjane emata nirnaya kari deha ekasthane. Lord Chaitanya's residence should be very secluded and also near the temple of Jagannatha. Please consider this proposal and give him a nice place for him. Text 21. Raja kahe aiche kashi mishrira bhavanam takurera nikatahaya parama nirjanam. The king replied, Kashi Mishra's house is exactly what you require. It is near the temple and it is very secluded, calm and quiet. Text 22. Etakahi raja rahe utkanitita hanam Bhattacharya Kashi Mishre Kahila Ashiyam. After saying this, the king became very anxious for the Lord to return, and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya then went to Kashi Mishra to convey king's desire. So we will read up till this point in time. The next shloka, the next speaker will talk. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakayam Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So during the manifested Leela, Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Jagannath Puri for 11 long years. The Lord performed several pastimes in Jagannath Puri, and even till today we are able to enjoy those pastimes, take advantage of those pastimes, places, and able to still be part of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. It is a privilege for us which even demigods don't get. We are able to take part in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The glory of it is that what Mahaprabhu has provided with the blessings of our predecessor Acharyas, starting from Rupa Goswami all the way till our own spiritual masters, the glory of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the opportunity to be part of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been enhanced. I do not want to say a comparison, but then if we had got the opportunity to be in the assembly of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we would have been in person, I mean to say, we would have been the most blessed soul. But being now 550 years later, participating in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance, but with the contribution of so many Vaishnava Acharyas, we are not missing a bit in what we would have otherwise enjoyed because of the contributions of all these Acharyas. The current context is that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is returning back to Jagannath Puri after his South India Yatra, and Mahaprabhu's returning is being celebrated. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes that like how different rivers, they flow towards the ocean. Like that, when Mahaprabhu was coming back to Jagannath Puri, different devotees from different parts of the country, they started thronging in to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This natural enthusiasm, excitement is very much seen in devotees who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord. It is natural. If I am a surrendered soul, I would always be happy when my master is coming. And one of the soul who was excited, eager to receive Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was King Prataparudra. Prataparudra heard about Mahaprabhu's glories from Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya mentioned that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Prataparudra is saying, if you say so, I accept them and I wish to have an audience with them. Having desire to have an audience with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is not some sort of a formality. Here, Prataparudra is saying that I wish to see him in order to make my eyes perfect. It is a very profound statement. Srimad Bhagavatam is explaining a very interesting verse or very interesting comparison. It says that a person who does not see the Supreme Lord, a person's eyes which does not see the Supreme Lord, then the eyes that he behold is nothing but the eyes as in a peacock feather. Because the peacock feather, the eyes does not able to see things. So Bhagavatam explains the head that doesn't bow down, the legs that doesn't walk to the temple, the hands that doesn't serve the Supreme Lord, the eyes that doesn't see the Supreme Lord, they are all useless. So Srimad Bhagavatam very strongly encourages us that darshana is to be very nicely done. So Prataparudra is saying, my eyes will become perfect. Very genuine desire. We also saw those desires. We also have those desires. Now in our current context, in our current discussion in this current context, we are going to learn some sets of interesting lessons. We are going to discuss about 4 aspects: qualification, benefits, empowerment, and intent. We are going to discuss these 4 aspects in our devotional journey. Because every time in our life, when we want to achieve something, we work for it. We try to get them by hook or crook. In Krishna consciousness also, we are always told about the necessary qualifications for getting certain results. So, the general tendency is that when we acquire the qualification, we demand the results. When we acquire the qualification, we are longing for the results. In other words, we are desiring for a result for which we work for a qualification. So my first reflection in this current context is that a person who is practicing should constantly strive to develop the necessary qualification without looking at the rewards and benefits. I repeat, every practicing devotee should constantly strive to develop the necessary qualification for being a useful servant in the service of Guru and Gauranga without expecting any benefits or rewards. This is first class. Of course, any form of devotion is great, but the first class devotee, a first class person or Brahminical mindset is that I acquire qualification for being a servant because that is my constitutional position. I acquire qualification because that is important for me to stay put in Krishna consciousness. Searching for benefits, longing for benefits, dwelling on benefits, demanding for rewards is not Brahminical, it is not first class. I'll give you a few examples both ways. Hiranyakashipu, he performed very strong tapasya to the extent Brahma is acknowledging, saying that, my dear Hiranyakashipu, the kind of tapasya that you have done, hardly anyone could do in this world. So you have done a very strong tapasya. Is his tapasya appreciable? It's a big question mark. Reason being, he wanted to perform tapasya to kill Krishna, to kill Vishnu. Just because a person performed tapasya does not qualify him to be a good soul. I will give a crude example. Suppose, for example, I am opening a wine shop, liquor shop, and I call them as Sri Balaji Wines, Venkatachalapati Wines, Ganesha Wines. Keep Krishna picture, Lord Rama's picture, Ganesh picture, Lakshmi's picture. As soon as I open the wine shop, the liquor shop, I offer some agarbatti and ghee lamp. And what will I pray? I pray to the Lord, please send as many drunkards as possible to my shop. Such an absurd tapasya is what Hiranyakashipu's tapasya was. I have my vested agenda, I have my vested interest, I have my hidden agenda, and I work hard to get that agenda. Interestingly, Bhagavad Gita says, anyone who has got a serious desire, Paramatma fulfills. But when we are talking from the context of bhakti, we all need to learn that just qualification alone is not enough. A qualification combined with empowerment, enablement, and blessings will make the configuration better. But the empowerment, enablement can only be given only when the intent, the purpose of why you are doing what you are doing is clarified. So look at this triangle: qualification, empowerment, and the intent. These three is a triangle. I need to have the right intent, for which I need to have the right qualification, for which I need the right enablement. Then only the desired results are awarded, and such an award, such a reward, such a benefit is glorious. So Prataparudra's desire to see the Lord is wonderful. But if you know the story of Raja Prataparudra's audience with Mahaprabhu, which I think in the next couple of chapters we will be discussing, Caitanya Mahaprabhu did not give audience just because Prataparudra was qualified. The day Prataparudra expressed his desire to see Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu face to face, one time, Prataparudra was qualified. Because he expressed his desire, sincere desire, surrendered desire, without any strings attached. He had a very genuine desire. But the audience with Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu was not so easy. So, the journey of a sadhaka, a journey of a sincere devotee is, he is constantly contemplating on the qualification that I need to acquire. He need to make sure the qualification should be associated with pure intent, correct purpose associated with that. And these two are also not enough. He need to have right empowerment and right blessings. Now, apart from these three, there is one more fourth variable. What is the fourth variable? Sir, I have got qualification. I have got the right intent also. Give me the blessings. Not possible. Prabhupada is explaining, before bestowing blessings, before imparting knowledge, the student is evaluated for his sincerity. As I said, the example of Hiranyakashipu, who was acquiring qualification alone, his intent was wrong. His agenda was wrong. But then, what about our friend Dhruva Maharaj? His intensity to go and see the Lord was nice. His intent was also little mixed agenda because it was of his personal agenda. But one good thing was, he was evaluated and he passed the test and he got the blessings of Guru. He could see Krishna. So there are many cases how somebody would have got the blessings of the Supreme Lord. Some are out of costless mercy, some are out of going through the proper evaluation, and some are through sheer arrogance. Hiranyakashipu is through sheer arrogance. Ravana is through sheer arrogance, because they were working hard to acquire the necessary power so that they can bring the whole world under their control. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, 4th chapter, text number 1, 2. Hiranyakashipu is telling, I need all the mystic power. I need all the power that you have. I need so many wishes he is making. So, in our first reflection, I want to say qualification, the right intent, definitely attracts blessings and empowerment only after you are being evaluated. So if we put the formula, if we put the sequence of events, I desire to do something, I desire to serve Guru, I desire to serve Krishna, I desire to go back home, back to Godhead, I desire to see the Lord face to face. That's the first step. We develop the desire. The second step is, for the desire, I acquire the qualification. I want to take initiation as a desire. Then what does ISKCON say? Please acquire the necessary qualification. Then what is the third step? We will evaluate you if you are really qualified or not. And number fourth is you will be empowered. You will be given initiation. So in case of Prataparudra, he had the genuine desire and he had a qualification also. What was his qualification? His qualification was he extended himself to the entire Vaishnava community and gave lots of charity. But then, when he expressed his desire to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, all those desires are okay. First, give a place for Mahaprabhu. Make sure that you arrange a wonderful, peaceful, solitary place close to Jagannath temple for Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu to perform his bhajana. Don't come and demand. You serve, unconditionally serve. With full of your heart you serve. You make sure you express your intent through your action. We will see in our life, there are many relationships who does just lip service. Prabhu, I am your servant. Prabhu, please come to my house. Prabhu, I would like to offer any service to you. When you call him for service, he will not be available. Or when you visit his house, he will say some excuses. Or he will do lip service for some vested agenda. So unconditionally and with full surrender to serve the Lord means we can have audience with the Lord. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya gave him a small test, gave him an opportunity to evaluate, gave him that you have to first earn your rights to Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. This was Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's test. In the next chapter or whenever we are going to discuss Prataparudra's entire meeting with Lord Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to keep some tests for him. It's a wonderful chapter. So hence my first reflection is that in our devotional life, qualification does not necessarily yield you the benefit. Along with qualification, three more things are to be looked at. Number one, our intent. Number two, our intent being evaluated. Number three, empowerment and blessings. Then only you will see the fruition. So, as I am working for qualification, I am trying to become a Bhakti Shastri, I am trying to become Bhakti Vaibhava student, I also need to apply what I am teaching, what I am learning, what I am studying in my own life in such a manner that my intent is shown in action. Unless we show something in action, and that too consistently, we will not be getting audience in the Supreme Lord. This is the first reflection that I wanted to register. The second reflection that I want to say here is that the mood of all the Vaishnavas is very, very nice. Prataparudra He is establishing a very important principle of Vaishnavism by his gesture, which is called simplicity. Gaur Govinda Maharaj explains this in one of the lectures. Simplicity is Vaishnavism. And being simple is one of the most difficult thing in this world, but it is very, very natural when we are serving under a sincere Vaishnava. Why simplicity is highlighted here? Just imagine, Prataparudra is the Raja. He is having the power for his entire state. Technically speaking, every praja is under him. He could have exercised his prowess, saying that you go and tell, I am coming to see Caitanya Mahaprabhu. He could have said that. He could have demanded, dictated, emphasized on his being a leader, but he exhibited a sign of simplicity. The response that he gave to Sarva Bhattacharya, he didn't say, let me think about it. He didn't say, you please arrange the meeting first, then I will, make sure this is done. He was not doing any trade. Simplicity means I will perform my service, my duty, even though I am not sure if I will get my response. Simplicity means I do not exercise my materialistic arrogance. Simplicity means trying to be humble in a humble state of mind, asking for the service opportunity. Simplicity means one who is ready to do every possible menial service, leaving aside all our materialistic portion. And simplicity means absolute Vaishnavism, where in the heart of heart, the service of Vaishnavas, peace and pleasure of Vaishnavas, and glorifying Vaishnavas is the focus. So, Prataparudra did have this simplicity. So, in our devotional journey, many times we are not simple. We may think we are simple, but we are not simple. Simplicity can be tested by our actions. Simplicity can be tested by what do we expect at the end of the actions. If we go to our temple during Sunday love feast, if you are asked to stand in the queue, you get upset. Oh, I am a regular congregation, I am a congregation leader, I have so much benefit. So we get upset. We want privilege. But in this case, Prataparudra, right from the beginning, is exhibiting some wonderful nature of being simple. The history of Vaishnavism reveals this simplicity. The history of Vaishnavism, starting from Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were governors, but they were roaming around in Vrindavana in loin cloths. That is why simplicity is against. Nobody who want to be materialistically flourishing, they don't subscribe to simplicity. So my second reflection is that the simplicity is Vaishnavism in our devotional life. We need to learn to be simple. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam tat paratyena nirmalam khrishikena khrishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchyate. It's a very interesting analogy I want to give. When we are neophytes in our Krishna consciousness, we yearn and long for acquiring things. I remember in my earlier days of Krishna consciousness, when I came to ISKCON in 1989, those days, this embroidery bead bag used to be a fashion. So, embroidery, the new embroidery with Jagannath, with Gauranga Mahaprabhu, with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we used to be crazy to go and buy them. We go to any Ratha Yatra, any ceremony, any function, we used to go and buy them. Then the t-shirts with imprint, we were crazy to buy them. Then came our fancy counting beads with kunja. So the chanting bag became such a beautiful, ornament that we had so much of kunja with so many of beads, some pearls of this and that. But what happens is that when we really learn the science of Krishna consciousness, we know these are all some frill elements. It is good to have factored, but they are only good when the chanting mala is used for chanting, not just showing off. Many a times we have bead bag to show that I am a devotee, not to be a devotee. So the devotional journey, if you see, the more and more we realize, the more and more we become tayar, the ready devotee. We want to give up all those frill elements which are just frills. Tyaktva turnamasesh mandalapati shrenim sada tuchavat Bhutva dina Ganesha Karuණया Kaupina Kanda Shrutau. Srinivasacharya is saying in Sadgoswami Ashtakam, Tyaktva Turna Masesha Mandalapati Srenim Sada Tuchavar. What all they removed, this Goswamis, what all they threw away as tucha. Tucha means something that is irrelevant. Their tridhanda. Can you imagine? They thought even holding the tridhanda is an unnecessary upadhi. Is a designation. Somebody called me a saint. Somebody called me a sannyasi. Somebody surrenders unto me. I get, some privilege. So he gave up. They gave up Janayu. They cut and threw it away. They gave up their saffron robes. And they were going around in Vrindavan Dham in loin cloths. Kaupina Kanta Shrutau. We cannot imitate this. We should not imitate this. But we need to know that simplicity is Vaishnavism. And being simple is the most difficult thing. That is why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes in the Caitanya Caritamrta that Krishna consciousness is simple for simple-minded, but is very difficult for crooked. So, why in Vrindavan everybody could easily glorify Krishna is because they were simple-hearted village girls. Why we so-called educated, qualified, rich, city-living devotees, we are finding Krishna consciousness very difficult because of our non-being simple or having some sort of a crookedness. So this is my second reflection. The third reflection that I want to register here is about where the service mood of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Mahaprabhu is yet to come, and Mahaprabhu has Already before leaving, if you all must have remember, Mahaprabhu, before he left for South India Yatra, Mahaprabhu is going to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami writes there. The reason Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house was to take his blessings and permission. May I go for the yatra? Because all of those associates, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Nityananda Prabhu, Gadadhara Pandit, Govinda, so many people. Swarup Damodar, I think so, all of them were there at that time. So they were all, did not wanting Mahaprabhu to go away from Jagannath Puri. But still, finally Mahaprabhu convinced them and he left. So before leaving, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took permission of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Look at the reciprocation of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When Mahaprabhu is coming back, he is making sure there is a wonderful place for Mahaprabhu to stay and perform his bhajana. So there is one aspect in our devotional life which reveals about your seriousness, which is called giving attention to the details. Generally, when we perform devotional service, if we are superficial devotee, if we are performing devotional life out of formality, if we are doing things just for naam ke vaste, then we will not give attention to the details. We will be very, very superficial. So one of the important aspects that tells a person being a sincere follower of a guru or the Supreme Lord is how much he is giving attention to the details when he is executing devotional service. I'll give an example for this. When I have to undergo a surgery, this is going to be a major surgery, what do I wish my doctors do? I wish my doctors give utmost importance to every minutest detail for me. Self-sanitization, equipment sanitization, precision in ensuring all the equipments are properly calibrated. Even though I may not have authority to dictate all of them, I wish. Suppose I get to know that my doctor is hearing Bollywood song while doing consulting to us. While the doctor is talking to his nurse and wife and other people and performing surgery. If the doctor is not so being careful, why doctor? A pilot. Why pilot? A teacher, a professional, anyone with whom you are seeking some service, if they don't give attention to the details, we get irritated. When we are serving the Supreme Lord, how can we do things superficially? So the third aspect from this current context, with what we are seeing as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's gesture to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is, he is giving attention to the details, how and where Mahaprabhu need to be placed. This is the mood of a servant, that before even the master asks for it, before even the master demands for it, he understands the needs of the master and tries to do the necessary facilitation. So in our devotional journey, if we are giving attention to the details to the Supreme Lord also would reciprocate and give attention to the details that we require for our devotional journey. Yeyatam mam prapadyante tam tataiva bhajamyaham. So it is important for us to learn to give attention to the details, which generally we are not so good at. We are so much lost in the whirlwind of Maya. We are so much lost in being self-obsessed that even in worshipping the Supreme Lord, we see ourselves. We often get to see devotees speaking like this. Do you see the har that the Lord is wearing? I made it. You see the dress the Lord is wearing? I made it. Do you see the first row of boga that is offered? I made it. I want to see myself even in the altar. I want to see, I am trying to see where all I would get my brownie points using Krishna. That is why Madhwananda Prabhu wrote a very nice article. Long time back, I think 25 years back. This article name is called Hide Your Guru. Please read that article if you can get. Hide Your Guru. Where he writes, sometimes as disciples, we try to earn brownie points using our spiritual master's profile. Oh, I am Prabhupada disciple. Oh, you are Jayapataka Maharaj disciple. Oh, you are Radhanath Maharaj disciple. What is so great about you? It is about them. Radhanath Maharaj is so great that he has accepted me as, his servant. Jayapataka Maharaj is great. He has accepted me as a servant. So and so Maharaj is great, so he has accepted me as servant. So it is greatness of them. But we are given the brownie points. The point that I want to drive home here is that it is important for us in our spiritual journey that we learn to give attention to the details, so much so that we withdraw ourselves from the center and place Krishna in the center. When we give attention to the details, when we microscopically watch how much of my nuisance, how much of my arrogance, how much of I, me, mine is inside that, you will realize, and you have to remove them. The moment we remove them, I guess we are making necessary progress. So, to conclude our conversations, we had 3 sets of reflections where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's returning to Jagannath Puri is going to be a very glorious celebrations for all the members of Mahaprabhu's fraternity. As Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami write, like a river flowing to the ocean, many people are thronging in, coming closer to Jagannath Puri. So from that standpoint, it's a very wonderful mood in Jagannath Puri at the time was. So what we are learning from this current context, from Madhya Leela, 10th chapter, text number 18 through 22, these 5 shlokas, we are learning 3 sets of lessons. The first set of lessons is about qualification is not enough for getting the benefit. Along with qualification, we need to have the right intent. When we have the right intent, we will be evaluated for the right intent. After the evaluation, we will be empowered and given blessings. With that blessings and qualification and the intent, we will be able to get the necessary desired result, which is what is going to happen in the case of Caitanya. The second reflection that we did have is about simplicity is Vaishnavism. Prataparudra, whilst expressing his desire to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is also exhibiting a quality of simplicity by not exercising his kingly power. Rather, he is staying humble, grounded, and trying to seek an audience with the Supreme Lord. And the third reflection is about Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's mood of giving attention to the details to serve Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, understanding what would Mahaprabhu's requirement would be, and by that way he is demonstrating the quality a disciple, a student, a servant should have. So there are many more lessons that Chaitanya Caritamrta offers, but I'm sure the future speakers would enlighten you all with those points. With this note, I would like to stop here and take up any questions, comments, reflections to this current context. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrta ki jai, Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Jai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandathanam. Thank you so much for a very practical session and wonderful take-home messages. So we have been hearing pastimes of the Lord for last many months and of course many years. But it is very important we understand that one of the beautiful reflections you made was about the first reflection, which is about having qualification is not enough. Very beautiful reflection you made today. Also see what is our intent, and that needs to be evaluated, and finally we get empowerment. So generally we feel very proud that you very beautifully mentioned that we claim ourselves as a disciple of so and so Maharaj. So it is not our greatness to be his disciple, but it is their greatness to accept us and empower us. Very beautiful reflections from amazing, and definitely these reflections will help us in taking devotional practice, devotional service very seriously. Otherwise, this becomes more of a ritualistic activity, which will not give any benefit. Otherwise, we go on doing this for years and years and years and life after life, but we remain where we are. So unless we carry and understand these reflections properly, the transformation, the real transformation, what we seek, will not happen. It is like I was just remembering the transformation of Arjuna when he was hearing Bhagavad Gita from the Lord. So the difference between Arjuna before Bhagavad Gita and after, when Krishna has given all the knowledge, is he transformed from the I consciousness to you, because he was ordering Krishna, take my chariot in the midst of army. So he was giving instruction to the Lord. There he was focusing on my chariot, me, and take me to there. So he was giving instructions. Whereas the same Arjuna, after hearing the instruction from the Lord, completely transformed. And he said, there also he said I, but that I was with reference to you. So I surrender to you, Krishna. So I am ready to do whatever you say, Krishna. So there also I, because here the I is in context of you. So that transformation, very beautiful reflections. Once we have this reflection, I think definitely this will help us in understanding and progressing in Krishna consciousness more deeply. So
thanks for your kind words, Prabhu, almost Prabhupada, and very wonderfully, kind of highlighted by you on how this we all need to watch out for being transforming. Otherwise, it will be a ritual. One person mentioned this. The word spiritual, English word spiritual, has got two parts. SPIRITUAL. He split the word in two parts. SPI as one part and ritual as another part. And he said SPI as Srila Prabhupada's instructions. If we do not follow SPI and remove SPI from spiritual, what is left is just a ritual. And the whole Varnashrama collapsed because Brahmanas did not do things with meanings, they just did ritualistically, and over a period of time, they misused their power. So at least as Vaishnavas, followers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should not fall prey to such a ritualistic procedure because we have a very rich culture. Wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Anybody has any other questions, comments, reflections?
Nagita Mataji raised can you unmute and ask question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams to all. Prabhuji, I just wanted to ask you, as we hear about Nityanand Prabhu, Prabhuji, then Gadadhar Srivasa, we hear that they are five in one absolute truth. Prabhuji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yes, Prabhuji, that we are told that they are five in one absolute truth. Then why it took 52 years for Advaita Acharya, like that God manifested himself, we hear. So why it took so long? I just want to know this.
The Lord, when he is performing his pastimes, the Lord uses different strategy in different situations. The Lord's focus is to always make sure he has a wonderful time with his devotees and he glorifies the devotees. He has done this many times in many leelas. If Mahaprabhu would have come immediately, we would not be glorifying Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya is taking a humble position. He is demonstrating. Yesterday evening only I gave a class to another group in Canada. So Advaita Acharya is demonstrating three fundamental principles of devotional life: patience, confidence, and humility. Why patience? Because every day Advaita Acharya's service was in sitting in front of Shaligram, offering Gangajal and Tulsi Panta, simply crying, when are you going to appear? For 52 long years he did that. This is not only Advaita Acharya. What about Sabari? Sabari, every day she used to decorate her whole house, prepare nice preparations, clean her entire streets, thinking that today Ramachandra Prabhu will come. This she did for several years. So the agenda is whether the Lord come or not, it is his prerogative. But me being ready for the Lord is my duty. So patience is one thing that Advaita Acharya demonstrated, which Rupa Goswami in the future says, Utsahat, Nischayat, Dhairya. So patience combined with enthusiasm, that is what is the second quality that he says, confidence. What is confidence? Rakshishyati Vishwaso. The Lord has promised that he will come, he will come. I will do my task. So this is the Leela aspect of the Lord, because I agree with you, all of them are Vishnu Tattvas. But then in the manifested Leela, they played the role of a devotee, so they are teaching it. And all the more, the third aspect of it is humility associated with that. Advaita Acharya, as you rightly said, is Mahavishnu and Sadashiv. He could have, dictated, he could have, thrown tantrums, he could have done anything that he wanted. But he showing a sign of humility. Nityananda Prabhu showed the sign of humility. They all exhibited what is Vaishnava tradition, Vaishnava culture by accepting the role. Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for that matter. The rasa between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Advaita Acharya is so interesting that Mahaprabhu used to constantly wanting to appreciate, glorify Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya constantly wanting to be chastised and getting blessings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's another topic altogether. But the point is, drive home point is, the Lord uses the opportunity to glorify his Vaishnavas and also get a quality time with his Vaishnavas. That is why in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's manifested Leela, he has not compiled any books. He has not, done anything, literary work. He made his disciples do it. He made Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, Gopalabhatta Goswami, Haridas Thakur, Ramananda Rai. So he has given every one of them individual projects and glorified them. All he gave us 6 ashtakam, 8 shlokas. Rest everything he had empowered his, servants and his followers and glorified them. So Advaitacharya's glories, yesterday the one Mataji was asking this question. We thought that Jadi Gaur na hoito, tabe ki hoito, kemone hari tamde. Had Gauranga Mahaprabhu not been there, who would have given us Radha and Krishna? Yadi Prabhupada na hoito, who would have given us Krishna Prema? And Yadi Advaitacharya na hoito is also true because he cried for us, he prayed for us. So those glories are definitely an agenda of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to give every bit of an opportunity so that his disciples, his students, his followers are glorified. Why Advaitacharya? Tomorrow you preach, you go and give classes, you will get garland, you will get vyasasana, you will get respect, you will get special treatment. Are they belonging to you and me? Probably for you, but not for me. They all belong to our predecessors. We are just a postman. So that credit also, Krishna ji bharke de rahe hai. So take it. You take the credit. That is why when we preach, when we are servants, we should be very careful what to accept, what to offer back to our predecessors. Am I making sense, Mataji?
Yes, very beautifully explained, Prabhuji. That means God does this all for the sake of relishing the transcendental flavors and opportunity to enjoy the love that his devotees have for him. Huh? I understood. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji.
As well as to glorify the Vaishnava. If
As well as to
Radharani has been made to suffer, quote unquote suffer, what to speak of everybody else? Krishna left Srimati Radha. Why? In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, in one place, he's telling Narada Muni, says, my absence makes Srimati Radha's love to reach the epitome. So he is very, his mood is absolutely transcendent. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thanks a lot, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, there is one question in the chat box.
Yeah, okay.
How to acquire the qualities?
How to acquire those qualities, please explain. I think I did mention in one of the points here that one of the only way to acquire these qualities is to stay put along with the devotees who have these qualities. Because the coal acquires fire when it comes in contact with fire. The iron rod acquires the characteristics of fire when it is in the extended company of fire. So iron rod, when it is in the extended association of fire, gets every quality of the fire. So similarly, acquiring these qualities is very easy when we are performing menial, humble services to such Vaishnavas who have those qualities. This is the standard thumb rule. Read Bhagavad Gita 4.34 purport. Srila Prabhupada writes 7 steps. I think in the last or one of the earlier classes I mentioned. Those 7 steps, if you follow, 7th step is Divya Gyan Pradhan Kiya Jata Hai. The 7th step is divine knowledge is imparted. But the first 6 steps, right from identifying the spiritual master, surrendering to the spiritual master, pleasing the spiritual master by performing menial service, inquiry from the spiritual master submissively, being evaluated by the spiritual master. So these are all steps. So in the journey of Krishna consciousness, we have a long way to go. If we are very sincere, that journey can be shortened with the blessings of self-realized souls. Is that okay?
Hare Krishna, I have one question, Prabhu.
Sure, Prabhu.
out of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya's Caritamrta, actually is Lord Krishna only Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why
Yes.
the Lord Shiva? What is the position? Is some guys is questioning me how I can explain to him. I said, why ISKCON people only Lord Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead? Lord Shiva, you are not mentioned. You are putting the downgrade. Like that is mentioned two PhD holders. Yesterday some argument happened.
They are wrongly informed. In fact, we worship, we glorify, we surrender, we serve Lord Shiva, in a very respectful and wonderful manner. Just that, maybe people are wrongly informed. Why Krishna is supreme, why Lord Shiva is not supreme? This is not a political debate, or this is not a political positioning. This is about the picture that is real, that is to be learned. It is like, why only, certain person becomes prime minister, why not somebody else? Somebody else is being prime minister because of a reason. So the Krishna being supreme personality of Godhead is not my choice or your choice or the PhD person's choice. Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead because Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead. Because it is Parasara Muni, Vyasadeva's father, he gave a very nice explanation. The explanation he gave was, how do you define Bhagavan? Because the entire Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is not being called as Krishna Uvacha. Whilst Arjuna Uvacha, Sanjaya Uvacha, Dhritarashtra Uvacha, what is Krishna called as? Bhagavan Uvacha. Bhagavan means Shad Aishwarya Paripurna Saman. Shad Aishwarya means 6 types of opulences, one who possesses in full. That person is called Bhagavan, and that is applicable only to Krishna. We are not some political party to take some sides. Why sun rises in the east? Why cricket match has got only 3 stumps? Why stump is only hip size? There are some why we do not have answer. We have to accept them as eternal truth. If somebody goes and asks, why sun rises in the east? You will say that is the universal nature. Similarly, Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, is an universal truth, unchangeable universal truth. The aspect of why Lord Shiva is not supreme, why Lord Shiva is not respected, that is very, a good question, because sometimes people misunderstand that ISKCON devotees hate Lord Shiva. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Thiruvannakoval. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Lord, Chidambaram. In Chidambaram, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and danced and danced in front of Lord Nataraja. Okay. So, idea is that, okay, I'll use a technical answer now. Krishna, this answer, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying this to Rupa Goswami. If you want to know details of them, there is a book called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. In that book, in chapter 3, 4, 5, 6 and all these all aspects are discussed. So Krishna has got many forms. Swayam Rupa, which means Krishna on his own, he performs Leela. Then Krishna has got a Tadekatma Rupa, which means Krishna comes out as an expansion. Mahavishnu, Kshirodaka Sai Vishnu, Karnodaka Sai Vishnu, Shankarishna, Aniruddha, Pradyumna, Vasudeva. And Krishna also further expands into reflections, like Lord Shiva is Guna avatar of Krishna. I know I'm going a bit technical, but at least I want you to understand that we are not doing any pakshapat, we are not trying to do any partiality here. This is the facts of the spiritual knowledge. Let us know the facts. So Lord Shiva is actually Krishna's Gunavatara expansion, Gunavatara reflection. So Lord Shiva is respected as the greatest of all the Vaishnavas. Lord Shiva is respected as an eternal member of Kailasha. Lord Shiva is respected as the Gunavatara of the Supreme Lord, Lord Shiva is to be worshipped as Param Vaishnava. Vaishnavanam Yata Sambhu. That is the statement that scripture says. So from that perspective, Lord Shiva cannot be at no point in time should be disrespected or disregarded or given secondary treatment. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other comments, questions, reflections?
Okay, Prabhuji.
I think we'll stop here. You all have your wonderful weekend. May this service continue and bring in more and more devotees closer to Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for a wonderful session today, and you have a lot of insights, a lot of reflections to carry a wonderful message with us, so that we remain in Krishna consciousness throughout the week, so that again we come back next week to catch up. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, all the devotees, for attending today's sessions.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Ramagiridhari Dasa Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thanks a lot, Prabhuji. All glories to you.
Thanks, Prabhu.